Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's video, Google 101. The purpose of today's video is going to be twofold. First step, we want to give you a baseline and fundamental understanding of how Google works as a search engine, and then two, introduce to you some of the common Google operators we use here almost every day in order to help us find that data and information that we are looking for. Our goal over the next 10 to 15 minutes is not to make you a Googling expert. That takes time and practice, but it is to open your eyes to the power of Google when used correctly. So right off the bat, if you have no idea how search engines work, the next 60 to 90 seconds should be pretty useful for you. Google has these automated web crawlers called spiders that go out all across the internet and visit all the various web pages, and they will save that data on their own servers where it is indexed and cataloged. And this is going to be a continuous process. This is always going on in the back end. The spiders going out to the web pages, they're saving new web pages, they're saving new information, and they are cataloging it and indexing it on their servers. So when you, the user, log into your computer and you go to google.com and throw in your search results, they are then going to hit Google servers. They are going to run it through their own algorithm and return those results on your screen. And this is done extremely efficiently. You may throw in a couple of words, and in a matter of a second or two, Google is going to have maybe 6 million results for you, which was extremely amazing. But at the same time, nobody wants to go through 6 million results in order to find that article or that one piece of data that you are looking for. You can limit those number of results through the use of Google operators, which is what we are about to get into. So, a lot of people are going to be familiar with your ands, ors, and nots for the minus sign inside of Google. Pretty commonly used and pretty well known. For those who have no idea what we're talking about, that's okay. We're going to briefly talk about these three before getting into some of the more advanced ones. So, right off the bat, you should know that by default, Google will treat any space in your search as an and. Right? And by and, I mean if I threw in cybersecurity and networking into Google, it is going to search for results related to networking and cybersecurity. Both of those terms need to be in your page returned in order to show up on your screen. So that might look something kind of like this. If we go out to Google, in the search bar here, I'm going to type in cybersecurity and networking. Want to highlight that my and is capital A, capital N, capital D. So when I throw it into Google here, we can see right off the bat, cybersecurity and networking, cybersecurity, so on and so forth. You can shorthand this by, instead of having capital A and D, making that a plus sign. It'll look something like this. Cybersecurity space, the plus sign, networking. I throw that in here. And here we go. We can see we have similar results with cybersecurity and networking appearing in all of our results. If you only wanted to have search results that had the word cybersecurity or the word networking, and maybe not both, in that case, you could use the or operator. Only one of your keywords need to be returned in order for it to appear on your search page. So in this case, if I come back to Google and we do cybersecurity or networking, capital OR, just like and, for this operator, we can see some of the results might be the same, because as long as one of your words appear on the result, is going to be returned to you, which means, hey, if both of your keywords are on there, it's going to be returned anyway. And if we go far enough in here, at some point we'll probably see some that only have one of our keywords on it. Let me scroll all the way to the bottom here. And we'll click on this one here. Just see if they have networking, and this one doesn't. Right, so we can see here it may only have one keyword or the other. Sometimes, though, it could have both, which is totally okay. The last one to talk about that a lot of people are going to be familiar with already is going to be the not operator represented by the minus sign. For this one, you cannot use capital N-O-T. If you take a second and try it right now, pause the video, see what happens. You're going to see that it doesn't work. If I come back to you, Google on my screen here, and I type in cybersecurity, not networking, capital N-O-T, we can see my results have both cybersecurity, network, no network, networks, right? It's not working here. You have to use the minus sign. Right, so minus networking. In this case, all of my results now should only have the keyword of networking. Nowhere on the page, sorry, it should only have the keyword cybersecurity. Nowhere on the page should it have the word networking. And I'll click on this BlackBerry cybersecurity report from 2023. And if I throw in networking in here, we can see that nowhere on the page does that keyword exist, because we're negating it, asking Google not to show it to us. So those are some of the really common ones most people are familiar with. Right. Sometimes Google may think that it's smarter than you. Right. Think about how many ways there are to spell some of the common names you might be familiar with. If you have a friend named Ashley, she could spell it with an L-E-E, L-E-Y, L-E-I-G-H, and tons of different ways I'm sure exist. Sometimes Google thinks that it knows what you want more than you do. And if there is a certain way you want to spell something, I recommend you throw it in quotes. Just random, no idea if this will work. I'm going to spell cybersecurity wrong, just like this. And if I hit search, we can see Google is like, hey, nope, we're showing you results for this. But maybe I want to see if somebody misspelt it wrong in something on one of their web pages. Well, let me throw it in just like this. Right, and we can actually see here where we have the user results for cybersecurity spelt wrong, right, on the internet, on Instagram, on a couple of different websites. Some of these, right, have the correct spelling in the title, but we look at the page here from the University of Wisconsin. This is actually spelled incorrectly. So if there is a certain way you want to spell something, throw it inside of quotes, right, quotation marks, and it should do it for you. Another common one people use is going to be parentheses. This is done in order to group operators together. This can be a really useful way to maybe run multiple searches at once, or have one keyword and you don't care if its match was a group of several different keywords. So it may look something kind of like this. Come back out to Google, and I'm going to throw in cybersecurity, spelled correctly this time. And now I'm going to do and in all caps. I'm going to start my first parenthesis. And I may type in something like networking or jobs or salary. And right now I am really running 3 searches at once. I'm going to ask Google, hey, show me results for cybersecurity and networking. show me results for cybersecurity and jobs, or show me results for cybersecurity and salary. And when I run this, right, we can see we have salary information, we have job information, and if I go far enough down here, I'll probably see things that have cybersecurity and networking on there as well. Already starting to see some of those as we scroll through. You also can use these, right, to run multiple searches together. So we could do something like parentheses, cyber security, let me spell that correctly, and networking. Actually, let me make this and an or, my apologies. And now throw in an in operator, videos, or education. And right now I'm about to run 4 searches at once. It's kind of like a math class from back in the day. I'm searching for cybersecurity and videos. I'm searching for networking and videos. I'm also searching for networking and education, as well as cybersecurity and education. And when I run this search, all right, we can go through and see whatever may be returned to us. Pretty useful or extremely powerful when used with some of the operators we've already talked about and we'll be talking about throughout the rest of this video. Next up, we have our asterisk. Think of this as your wild card. So maybe, we just did a search for cybersecurity spelled incorrectly, right? And we had some hits. Well, maybe I want to search for a lot of different ways that people may search cybersecurity, or a phrase that's commonly used with cybersecurity that I don't remember. I could come out here, right? Let me clear this out. And if I type in something like cyber asterisk, right? Well, this can be a lot of different things. This asterisk can be anything that Google has seen that follows cyber. And we have cyber attacks, we have cyber crimes, cyber essentials, cyber threats, right? Cyber is, so on and so forth. So this is your wild card. This does not work for a single character. All right, if you have a single character, you can do the question mark inside of Google. All right, and we can see as it's bringing back cybersecurity, cybersecurity, cybersecurity. That's kind of what I was leading it to show me. So that's the asterisk wild card, extremely powerful, right, when used inside of Google. The next couple are all going to be extremely good for you to know, but I want you to notice something right off the bat. When it comes to things like file type and title, site, right, and an URL, these all have a colon at the end of them. Right, so a file type operator is going to do exactly what it sounds like. Hey, search for files with this matching extension. And this has a lot of different types of extensions, pretty much anything except for movie files. So I was looking for a doc, a PowerPoint, a PDF, an Excel, a CSV. This will be extremely useful for you. Coming back out to Google, I could do, for example, cybersecurity, file type, colon, and PDF. And now I'm going to have, after I scroll past the sponsored, results that are a PDF that have cybersecurity somewhere in them. If I click on one of these, click on this one here, here's this PDF out of Utah, right, and one of their governmental organizations about cybersecurity workforce training guide. All right, so maybe you're trying to create a cybersecurity guide for your own office. Here is a template you could potentially use and base some of your content off of. Like not just PDFs. I could do PPTs for PowerPoints, Right, and now I can look at PowerPoints that have the keyword of cybersecurity in them. Extremely useful, extremely powerful, and great way to find studies, articles, certain types of publications as well. Entitle, right? The entitle colon operator is going to search exactly what it sounds like, the title portion of a web page. You have no idea what I mean when I'm talking about that. Think of the blue text in your Google results. All of these here, all these blue hyperlinks are going to be the titles. So in this case, before we did cybersecurity file type PPT, let's change this a little bit. I'm going to make my file type back to a PDF, but now I'm going to add a entitle before cybersecurity. And we now have entitle cybersecurity, file type PDF. All right, now everything dot back to us needs to have cybersecurity in the title and to be a PDF. Right. So want to start highlighting here how powerful it can be when we start to group these operators together. Right. I'm now running a entitle and I'm running a file type operator as well. Right. Before, if I just did cybersecurity search by itself, we had millions and millions of results. And right now we're down to only 70,000, which is still a lot, but it's a lot less than what we started with. Next up, we have the site operator. This is going to limit your search results to a specified domain. So hey, only show me sites, search results from this one site, this one website. All right, so maybe I just want to review something based off of Facebook or from a competitor's website. I want to limit my results to anything Google scraped about them. We can use cite here, and it's extremely powerful. Coming back out to Google, I want to add to the search we currently have. Or if I could do cite colon, let me throw my space in here first. If you remember earlier, we talked about asterisk being a loud card. It's right to complete part of a word or phrase. That works for the slide operator as well. So I could do asterisk.edu, right? And this should only return domains that end in a .edu that have a PDF with cybersecurity in its title, right? And this is, yep, hitting the mark here, right? Highlighting once again how powerful these operators can be to help us find the information it is that we are looking for. And we went from 70,000 down to just 7,000 results in a matter of seconds. So the next operator we're going to talk about is going to be let me get to my slides here, an URL operator, right? Search for pages with a particular word in the URL in the address bar. Limit it to that. So let's go back out to Google here. Let's change up our search just a little bit. In this case, let's different of everything, right? And I'm just going to do in this time in URL cybersecurity. Then we can see we're back up to about 4 million results. But in all these URLs, we have cybersecurity. This can be combined with other ones we've talked about. File type. Let's do a PPT this time. All right, and here we go. PowerPoints with cybersecurity in the URL. Phenomenal. This can be combined, like we just saw, with some of the other ones as well. In URL, right, combined with the site operator is extremely powerful. If I have a username, random words here. Let's do one we did from our earlier video. Comic string, site, colon, facebook.com. In this case, no results. Let's try Twitter.com, nothing. Last up, let's just try. The by itself, is there even anything on here? In this case, one. Okay. So, maybe not the best example, but think about it. You have a name, only want to search Facebook, only want to search Instagram, whatever it may be. This is a great one to use. In text, that is gone to search. The text of a website, the body of a website should be pretty self-explanatory, very similar to just your ands or operators, just forcing it to search for the body there as well. And with that, that is about 20 minutes, so we're going to stop there. That is our brief introduction to how Google works as a search engine and some of the common Google search operators we use here every day. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments down below, and we will be sure to answer them as quickly as possible. See you at the next video. Have a good one.